Guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going over how I built my 48 volt mx650. This is an older video I recorded quite a long time ago, just never got around to editing it. So today I'm going to be showing you how I built it. So in the package for the camo 48 volt battery, you get multiple things. You get the battery leads, the charger, and a diagram on how to assemble the battery. So here you can see, get that adapter. It is a Dean's connector, which isn't the best, especially when you run a lot of power, but I'm not too worried about it as of right now. Here's the 48 volt battery. And you are going to want to save all of that foam because it's really good for protecting the battery. Here's when I first plugged it in and charged it. This was right when I just got it. I was super excited. So here's the battery. It's a 48 volt, 10 amp hour lithium ion battery from CAO MM. Plug it into the wall. It's super simple. And here's the mx650 after I just finished stripping it. Here I'm going to be removing those stock lead acid batteries. So one of a big benefit of doing this upgrade is you're going to get a lot longer battery life, because those lead acid batteries not only take forever to charge, but after you charge them for 6 hours, you only get a ride for about 45 minutes. As opposed to this battery where I'm getting about 2 hours of runtime and only about a 4-hour charging period. So here I'm hammering down the battery tray to make it wider. And as you can see, I've removed those batteries, hammered it down. This took a lot longer than I thought, but one thing that really sped it up was taking a pair of pliers and bending those down. So yep, that's that foam from earlier I told you about. I cut it to size with a pair of shop scissors, and it's already made to fit the battery, so I just kept it as is and just trimmed off some excess from the side. I haven't had any problems with this, and I'm about a month into having this 48 volt bike. Now that I have that battery installed, I'm still just gonna keep shaving down that piece of foam, trying to make it fit perfectly, because you don't want the battery to touch any metal of the frame. That can cause your battery to be ruined and possibly explode. You also don't want the battery to vibrate, so those gotta cut down on a lot of vibrations. Okay, here you're seeing me mounting up the controller. A cool way I found to mount this controller is to mount it with those bolts from the old lead acid battery that went there. Fits perfectly there, all the wires reach a little better, and it helped clean up a lot of the wiring, but it did take a lot of hammering and adjusting to get it to fit properly. But I would really recommend you do this as opposed to a lot of people just zip tie it down. This looked a lot cleaner and came out really nice, although it did take quite a lot of work. The hardest part about mounting this piece up is the original holes for those bolts is a little longer than the amount of distance that the bolts are spread out on the controller. So as you can see, I'm trying to bend it up, make it fit, and it did fit in the end, so I would recommend this. But once again, it's just going to take a really long time. And see here, I had to get some help from my dad, help me line it up while I was doing the other side and wrapping the battery in foam. One thing you're going to see here I did with the batteries, I wrapped the foam in duct tape, made it look a little cleaner, help cover it a little better. And we use zip ties to hold the foam together and help hold it to the frame. This is it after we just finished doing that. As you can see, I have foam covering anywhere where the battery could touch metal, and anywhere where the zip ties could touch the battery, just so they aren't putting pressure on the battery. Also put it around the controller just to cut down on vibration and noise. And I put the charging port out the front so it could go between the plastics. As you can see, there's the wire that's going to plug into the plastics for the on-off switch and to connect the batteries. I did end up having to cut the back of these plastics off in order to fit the foam for the upgrade battery. And here you can see what I've done is wired the battery to the plastics for the on-off switch. Here's me testing it out. I get about a 25 mile per hour top speed with the stock motor and controller. It gave me a ton more torque. It can wheelie now. It runs a lot better on trails and on dirt. So I would highly recommend this upgrade. Thank you guys all for watching this. I'm sorry this took forever. I kind of forgot about this project, to be honest. But yeah, it was really fun and I would highly recommend it. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. I respond to every single comment. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a video I post, and so it helps the algorithm show this video to more people. It really helps out.